This is my baby. Baby, I think I'm yours too. You're always on my mind too. And I know that it probably doesn't always seem like it, but as long as you know you can feel my heartbeat, that's because our hearts are both beating for each other and we're so in love with each other. Baby, I love you so much. I know it's hard to come out, and I want you to come out whenever you're ready. No pressure, okay? I'm reading all your letters. I know. Yeah. Hey, baby, I had to walk away.
This is the biggest mistake women make.
Some of us are losing sleep. You know what's crazy? Some of us are losing sleep not because we're in pain, but because we're praying for something we don't even believe God can still do. You're asking God to bring you your soulmate, but deep down, you're wondering if he even sees you anymore. But hear me loud and clear today. When God brings you to the one he created with your soul in mind, it won't come with confusion. It won't come with chaos. It'll come with a peace that doesn't make sense. And I came to tell somebody today that peace isn't random. That peace is your confirmation.
Amen.
Because when God brings you to your soulmate, you won't have to chase. You won't have to beg. You'll just know not because of butterflies in your stomach, but because of the stillness in your spirit. Let's talk about that kind of peace, the kind that only comes when God says, this is the one. When God is the author of your love story, peace becomes the very ink he writes with.
Right, but peace with your soul, yes, definitely. When God finds you, your soulmate, you do find peace. But there is also a battle that you go through, because your person is actually human, and it's not just peace alone. You feel peace at heart because your soul is, there is a stillness, yes, but there's not confusion and all this crazy stuff. You know inside of you that this is the fucking man for you. You're still, you don't want nobody else, and other people try to pull you close to them and they try to devour your spirit, but he knows how to bring you back to him all the time. And the thing about it is that you fight. Me and my baby, we fight, we argue, because he wants me to be here and I'm busy talking about Justin Bieber, talking about Chris Brown. He doesn't like that. He wants me to talk about only him. And I want to talk about only him, but I feel like I at least owe that to Justin, to just at least explain to the world what he really meant according to my perspective. It's not to rub Justin in your face or to make you jealous, babe, but it's to do my part as a therapist, even if I'm not licensed, or as a perceptionist, just someone that kind of sees things that the rest of the world doesn't see, but they're quick to judge. This can help a lot of people get out of jail, just help a lot of lawyers that don't see things clear. Everybody is not vegan, so they don't really see things clear. So just because you found your soulmate doesn't mean you're not gonna fight. Me and my soulmate fought. Me and my man fought, but we don't ever want to fight. We never want to fight. We just do it because when you're angry, why would you want to give your frustrations to another person? Why would you want to turn around and fight a stranger? That person doesn't even know what to do with you. He probably try to hurt you. So you fight with your wife. And so I will grab my husband. Like if I'm here with him, I don't want to hurt him. But if he gets mad and angry and slaps me, well, then we're gonna fight. But I don't know how it's gonna go, but I know it's not gonna be violent. I feel like me and him have rough sex. And so if we have rough sex, we're just gonna see it as a sexual, like we're gonna be angry. I don't know, I'm trying to read us, right? You know how we are. You know exactly how we are. And we don't mean harm, because my baby's like, please don't yell at me. Please don't, we both get like that, because deep down in the heart, all you want is that person to love you. But you don't want to lie that you're not angry when you are.
It's not frantic. It's not forced. It's not you sitting up late at night trying to decode mixed signals or wondering if you're good enough to be loved.
Right.
It's not chasing after validation from someone who only gives you half-hearted effort. No,
Right.
When God brings you to your soulmate, you don't feel pressure, you feel peace.
Yeah.
See, the world has trained us to believe that love is supposed to be complicated, dramatic, like a movie full of tears, jealousy, games, and uncertainty. Love has to hurt before it can be real, but God doesn't operate by Hollywood script. He doesn't work through manipulation, anxiety.
Sometimes, ever since I found my man, I've been in love. All I really want is more of him. I'm not confused. Sometimes I was confused, but it was because he was confusing me. Because he didn't want other people. What he was really trying to confuse are other people. And he's trying to figure out if it's really me. So he was kind of doubting a little bit, probably. But really deep down, we're so in love. It's like he can't believe it's me, I can't believe it's him, but we believe it because we feel it.
Or fear. His love is holy. His design for relationship is sacred. And when he brings you to your soulmate, it reflects the heart of the one who brings it. That's why you don't feel like you're drowning when it's from God. You feel like you can finally breathe.
Yeah.
There's no pressure to perform. You don't have to wear a mask, impress them, or pretend to be someone you're not. The peace you feel in your soul tells you, I can just be me and that's enough.
Yeah.
Not because you found a perfect person, but because you found someone who sees your imperfections and still wants to walk with you through life.
Yes.
That's the kind of peace that surpasses understanding.
Yes.
And here's what you need to understand. Peace doesn't mean the relationship will be perfect or that it won't require work.
Right.
Peace doesn't mean it will be easy every day.
Amen.
But what it does mean is that the foundation of the relationship isn't built on performance, it's built on presence.
Amen.
God's presence.
Amen.
That unshakable presence that whispers, this is safe, this is holy, this is me.
Yes.
So many people ask, how will I know if they're the one? You'll know, not because the world confirms it, not because of butterflies in your stomach, but because of the rest in your spirit.
Yeah. And
You'll feel it.
And your soul is like a button. It's like a when you know it glows when it's connected. When your soul has finally found that peace, you feel you glow. You're glowing from within, and you can feel it. And it's just different from everybody else. And I know that there's people that have felt that glow from particular people, but every glow is different, right? This glow is heavenly. It feels so holy. It feels dirty, but it feels like a good dirty. Like it feels like me and him are just dirty as fuck. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like we get nasty, like we get raw. Like me and him are like not dirty, but we have a history, baby. Like we got a history. We have a pretty dirty history. That's what I'm sensing. But I think like that's what I feel. But I feel like we know each other's secrets, and we there's stuff about us that we don't know. Like I said, like I've been his mother before, right? He's been my son before, and I think that's the dirty secret. And somehow he had to grow up and be my partner, and because there was nobody else. And he would look at me, and this was when I was Eve, and he would look at me, maybe not Eve, but a different person in a different time, but I was that beautiful girl, and because he remembers her, and just that love, we were put in this position where he had to grow up. He was born white, and maybe I was mixed somewhere, because that's all I remember him. I don't remember him ever being a black guy. You know what I mean? So you have to get back into your soul. In order to see yourself in the past and to know these things about yourself, you have to relax. You have to work on the tension in your body so you can listen to your spirit better, and have more clarity, so you don't have to go to a psychic to know what you were. So I just remember that he was like, wow, he couldn't believe when he saw this beautiful woman as his mother, and he was like, I'm gonna hold you, and I'm gonna take care of you, I'm gonna marry you. And I think me and him died in a car accident or something in the past, and we were born again and found each other in this lifetime.
When you're not trying to force something that was never meant to fit, you'll feel it when you stop striving and you start trusting. That's the difference between pressure and peace. Pressure will have you pretending, peace will have you planted. And you know what? Some of you have been so used to chaos that when peace comes, you don't trust it. You're waiting for the argument, waiting for the betrayal, waiting for the...
Because you don't know what sometimes you it's trauma, it's PTSD. You're traumatized, and you feel like, oh, what's gonna happen next? You know, we always that's what we go through. Like every move we're making here, we're afraid of doing. We're even afraid of being excited, because we're still going through trauma. Our bodies, it's like we're afraid to even be a little happy. It's so sad.
Drama, because you've been trained by your past to equate intensity with intimacy, but God is breaking that pattern. He's teaching you a new language of love, a love that brings stillness instead of storms.
Amen.
When God brings you to your
Hallelujah.
soulmate, He doesn't bring pressure to prove. He brings peace that lets you exhale.
Amen.
You don't have to try so hard.
Yes.
You don't have to overthink every word, every text.
I mean, what I love about my man is that he's just surrendering. And of course, I want more. Every day I want more. Every day I want more. I just can't wait to hold him in my hands. The love of my life. The man I've been dreaming of, waiting for thousands, decades of years. It feels like maybe thousands. Maybe it wasn't decades. I feel like we've re-met each other and fell in love over and over again. And I just can't wait to kiss him, to love him, to hold him, to nurture him, to nurse him like I've nursed him before. And the first woman that son, that boy looks at is the woman that gave birth to him, is his mother. And I'm not talking about his mother. Because every boy knows mother, the real mother, when they look into that woman's eyes and they see how that woman is treating other people and how that woman cares and nurtures. That's how you know that's the mother. How she deeply is overprotective. That's the lioness in her. Lions, you gotta study about lions. Human lions are not that different from actual lions. The mother is a lion, and God, the father, is the lion. Another lion, a male lion, right? And it's like that was our big dirty secret. That was a big dirty secret, and we were afraid to expose it to the world. And I think that people knew, and he was the kind of guy that pushed every guy away from me because he says, no, this is my wife and I'm gonna marry her. Nobody's gonna marry her. And I'm reading and I feel like they were saying it was wrong or seeing it as wrong, and somehow God made us look different to a point where people couldn't tell that we were siblings. And it was, once your son gets older, you don't really he doesn't look like your son. Yeah, that's what they said. Damn, this doesn't look like it doesn't look like your son. It does, and you don't know how to explain it to the world, the miracles, that happen as a woman. And there's a lot of times where I've seen on Facebook people show up with a black woman show up with a white daughter, and you're like, this is your biological? Yes, it's her biological daughter. And the baby looks blonde, white. Damn, where did this baby come from? Black women they just can't give birth to Chinese babies. But they can give birth, I mean, you never know what they can do. Hell, black women got some power. But it was just like, it was just unbelievable. And I couldn't believe it. And we just held each other because he couldn't trust any other man with his mother. He says, man, she loves me, I love her, she takes care of me. And when you breastfeed a boy, he feels a part of you. I breastfed my daughter, and my daughter was so connected to me. My daughter didn't want to leave me. There's a bond that mothers have when they breastfeed with their children. That's what even the white people in the but some people abuse their children, like they add sex their husband having sex while their child is breastfeeding. I think that's perverted, and I think that it's wrong, and it should be illegal, if anything, because dinner time is dinner time. I never did that to my boy, right? I don't feel like I did. I would never, otherwise I wouldn't feel that way right now. Like, I wouldn't feel how, but one thing I do have to know is, I do have to tell you guys, I don't judge women that experience that. You know why you shouldn't judge a woman that when she's breastfeeding, she suddenly feels like masturbating or making love to her husband or something? It's because the breasts are connected to the vagina. And once a woman has her first child, the nipples become sensitive to a point where they get aroused a lot faster and easier. So when a child, so maybe I did, I don't know, no, I didn't, I rebuked that shit. I don't even feel like I would do that, like I would do such a thing, because I'm so overprotective with my kids, and my body alone is my body would tell me, don't do this, don't do this with this boy here, don't do that, wait till, because he's listening. I know that babies are listening to you, and the first way to make a man fall in love with you is to respect his privacy, respect him when he's sleeping, respect his body. And that's a godly way, and that's a godly part of me. There is a devil that's trying to make me say bad things, but it won't work, right? But there is a God in me, in each of us, that if you have any God in you, you would know that you can feel when something is wrong. Your body will tell you, like, you know, if you disrespect this little boy by doing things when he's unaware, he's not gonna trust you. He's gonna see you as a bad person. That's what I feel, you know. But if you respect his body, and Mother Earth respect a baby, because that's a baby. Like, that's, she never, it was unbelievable. It was a gift, right? And she feared God. So she was like, you know, I have to, wow, this is, you know. So I feel like I got older, and I could tell I could feel him, probably, I could feel him say, like, I'm your wife, or you're gonna be my wife. If you're a real mother and you've heard a boy, and your son, or anybody say that, you know how they are. They fall in love with their mothers before they fall in love with anyone else. And usually it's a different kind of love. It's when a son falls in love with their mother, it's not a sexual, they don't fall in love sexually, because they don't know what sex is, right? They don't know what it's like to have sex. They look at your breasts and they're feeding. It's not until they get older and mature, and breasts become a sexual toy. And I'm wondering who was his father, and maybe he witnessed us making love and he learned. I don't know, but I'm just reading my spirit. And so yeah, so yeah, I don't feel like, I mean, I'm listening to my spirit, but I know that me and him have our own personal, like, I feel like whatever he felt personally, I was mature enough, because even with younger guys now, my body denies, like, I know for sure, I'm like, you're not ready, you're not ready, because what I have here is a woman, and a boy doesn't know how to touch a woman. They don't know what they're doing. No matter how much you think you are, and it doesn't feel right. Even if you love the boy, it just doesn't feel right. If a little boy is touching you a certain way, you know, you love the touch of a man's hands, and how they can just grab your thighs, and how they can carry you. You know what I mean? And so it's like I hope you guys understand that. So that's why it's hard for me to understand. And then little boys mentally, or you can sense that they don't know what they're doing. Their brains are, even if they probably masturbate when they're young, their brains are not, you can read their minds, and you can tell their brains are innocent. You can see the innocence in the little boy's hands. It's like, this is just a boy. That's why I'm like, it's the devil. I'm like, how could you guys even be interested and look at a little boy? When I breastfed my daughter, I won't lie, I felt some arousal in my vaginal area. And that doesn't mean that I'm attracted to my daughter. That's just your body's reaction to when a woman's nipples. That's what the way women are. And until you become a man, you understand. Until you breastfeed, you understand. So don't judge those women that we just ask you not to do that. Please respect the little boy, right? He will love you for it, and tell him it's not right. You know, feeding babies until they're 5 years old is crazy. It's crazy. That's how I feel. I'm like, they're too aware at that age to still, you know. But if it's a poor mother, you know, I don't know. You gotta breastfeed.